The world is traveling less, and in 2025, something is happening that the headlines aren't fully capturing. American tourism is collapsing, state by state, region by region, and it's reshaping communities in ways that may take decades to recover. In today's video, we dive into the 10 U.S. states where the tourism crash has become impossible to ignore. From empty hotels and shuttered attractions to lost revenue and disappearing jobs, these places aren't just struggling. They're disappearing from the tourism map altogether. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more engaging content. Number 10. New York. Once the crown jewel of global tourism, New York is now bracing for a $4 billion drop in foreign visitor spending in 2025, a plunge that industry experts warn could cripple the city's service sector. With international travel still lagging behind pre-pandemic levels, iconic neighborhoods like Times Square and Soho are seeing fewer footfalls than anyone expected. For many small businesses, the tourist drought is pushing them closer to the edge. Broadway ticket sales are down by over 25%. Hotel occupancy is hovering below 65%, and even the Statue of Liberty is reporting a 30% dip in ferry visitors compared to 2023. Tour operators are scaling back, restaurants are trimming shifts, and the city's signature buzz feels noticeably quieter. It's a wake-up call for an industry that once seemed untouchable. Beyond Manhattan, upstate destinations are faring no better. Niagara Falls has reported a 19% decline in Canadian tourists, and Finger Lakes wineries are seeing tour cancellations at rates not seen since the height of the pandemic. For rural communities that rely on seasonal visitors, this isn't just an economic hit. It's a survival crisis. City officials have launched campaigns to bring back global travelers, but they're facing fierce competition from European and Asian destinations offering better deals and safer reputations. With perception shifting and fewer foreign flights landing at JFK and LaGuardia, New York's tourism decline may not be temporary. It might be the new reality. Is New York losing its global appeal? Would you still visit in 2025? Tell us below. Number 9. California. California, once a global magnet for tourists, is now seeing its crown slip. Los Angeles, San Francisco, and even coastal gems like Santa Barbara are reporting shocking declines in international arrivals. In fact, California's foreign tourism sector saw a 24% drop in the first half of 2025 compared to the same period in 2024, according to the Financial Times. This isn't just a dip in foot traffic, it's an economic blow. Restaurants are closing early, hotel vacancies are soaring, and high-end retailers are shifting focus away from tourism-dependent districts. In Los Angeles alone, tourism-linked sales tax revenue is down nearly 18%. The reasons? Rising crime headlines, a high cost of living, and a perception that California isn't the sunny escape it once was. Even international tour operators are quietly removing California from their flagship U.S. packages. It's a dramatic reversal for a state that once symbolized the American dream. While local governments scrambled to revive the sector with promotional campaigns, the broader damage has been done. Confidence from abroad is waning, and it's not just a public relations problem. It's economic erosion in real time. California's reputation as a tourist powerhouse is now hanging by a thread. From Hollywood to heartbreak, is California's tourism dream over? What do you think? Number 8. Nevada. Las Vegas may be glitzy, but behind the neon, the numbers are grim. According to the New York Post, tipped workers in Vegas have seen their income drop by more than 50% in 2025. That figure alone shows how brutal the tourism drought has become. Foreign visitors, once the lifeblood of the Vegas Strip, are disappearing. High rollers from Asia, Europe, and South America are choosing alternative destinations with better security, lower costs, and fewer political tensions. Even domestic tourism is faltering as flight and accommodation costs skyrocket. The ripple effect is staggering. Casinos are reporting reduced table play, shows are seeing declining ticket sales, and luxury suite bookings have plummeted. One major resort recently paused expansion plans indefinitely, citing market uncertainty. Nevada's tourism economy isn't just slowing, it's in free fall. If this trend continues, the state could face a prolonged identity crisis. After all, what is Vegas without the crowds? Even Vegas can't save Nevada. Are we witnessing the fall of a tourism giant? Sound off! Before we move into the next country, smash that like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Number 7. Florida. Florida, the Sunshine State once flooded with tourists, is now watching its beaches and theme parks grow eerily quiet. The state has reported a 12% decline in foreign visitors in the first half of 2025 compared to the same period last year, according to state tourism data. That may not sound like much, until you realize it equates to hundreds of millions of dollars in lost revenue. Cities like Orlando, Miami, and Tampa are seeing the economic ripple effect. Hotel bookings are down, restaurants are laying off staff, and local businesses dependent on international visitors are tightening their belts. Even Walt Disney World reported a notable dip in ticket sales from European and South American travelers. The state's tourism board blames everything from international airfare inflation to ongoing concerns about safety and gun violence. Meanwhile, European travel advisories are increasingly warning their citizens about traveling to high-crime regions in the U.S. Florida, unfortunately, often makes that list. As the state looks to fill the gap with domestic visitors, the numbers just aren't adding up. Seasonal jobs are disappearing, and airport traffic has dipped below pre-pandemic levels. Florida's dream vacation reputation is fading fast. Has Florida become too risky for tourists? Would you still plan a trip there? Number 6. Texas. Texas might be a powerhouse in oil and tech, but its tourism sector is starting to feel the pressure. In Dallas alone, hotel occupancy dropped by over 9% this year due to falling numbers in international business and leisure travelers, according to the Dallas Observer. And Austin's once-booming festival circuit is now reporting low turnout and dwindling foreign sponsorships. Foreign tourists, once drawn by Texas's cowboy charm and culinary scene, are now skipping the Lone Star State altogether. Visa processing delays and tighter border controls are part of the problem, but so is global perception. According to a 2025 FT report, European and Asian visitors are choosing safer, more inclusive destinations. Meanwhile, the drop is hurting more than just hotels. Museums, local tours, and even historical landmarks are cutting hours or staff due to fewer visitors. Some small towns that relied on road-tripping Europeans or Canadians have seen local tourism income drop by up to 25%. Texas is trying to push back with aggressive ad campaigns abroad, but it's an uphill climb. In 2025, image matters more than ever. And for Texas, reclaiming that international appeal may take years, not months. Is Texas being overlooked as a travel destination, or is it truly in decline? What's your take? Before we dive into number 5, quick heads up. If you're hooked on stories like this, you'll love what I share on YouTube Peaks. From behind-the-scenes research to early topic drops, it's where the real deep dives happen. Links below. Come join the Inside Circle. Number 5, Hawaii. Hawaii, once the crown jewel of Pacific tourism, is now facing an alarming decline. In 2025, visitor arrivals to the islands dropped by more than 18%, and hotel occupancy rates fell to a 10-year low. Airlines have slashed direct international routes, and cruise liners are bypassing Honolulu entirely. Tourism officials cite a combination of rising airfare, inflation, and global instability as key contributors to the decline. According to Travel and Tour World, Hawaii's tourism recovery has slowed significantly, with local businesses reporting dwindling foot traffic. Restaurants in Waikiki are now closing earlier, and major resorts have frozen expansion plans. The economic impact is massive. Tourism accounts for roughly 21% of Hawaii's GDP, and the slowdown is sending shockwaves through local employment. The hospitality industry alone has seen over 12,000 job losses in just the first half of the year. Residents are split on the issue. Some welcome the quieter pace and environmental relief, but others worry about long-term sustainability. Without a rapid rebound, the state could see deeper budget shortfalls and an exodus of workers. Is paradise becoming too expensive to survive? Is Hawaii pricing itself out of tourism? Number 4, Michigan. Michigan may not be the first state that comes to mind when thinking about tourism, but its economy heavily relies on Canadian visitors. In 2025, the state reported a $350 million drop in tourism earnings due to a steep decline in cross-border travel. Detroit, Grand Rapids, and Mackinac Island are all feeling the pinch. According to WDET, Canadian tourists once contributed over $1 billion annually to Michigan's economy. But ongoing trade tensions and new passport delays have choked this revenue stream. Local businesses that cater to weekend visitors from Ontario are closing up shop or slashing hours. The effects ripple far beyond hotels and restaurants. Cultural events like Art Prize and the Traverse City Film Festival have seen record low attendance. Even Michigan's national parks are reporting a double-digit drop in summer foot traffic. The The state's tourism board has launched new digital campaigns targeting domestic travelers, but results have been underwhelming. Unless cross-border relations improve soon, Michigan risks losing a vital piece of its economic puzzle. Why is Michigan collapsing so fast? Is Canada's boycott to blame? Drop your thoughts. Number 3. Arizona. Arizona might not be the first state that comes to mind when you think of international tourism, but its stunning desert landscapes, vibrant cities, and iconic national parks once drew millions of global visitors. In 2025, that steady stream has slowed to a trickle. Grand Canyon tours that once operated at full capacity are now seeing bookings at just 50% of their historical average, sending shockwaves through the entire regional economy. According to a recent Financial Times report, cities like Phoenix and Flagstaff are experiencing hotel vacancy rates not seen since the darkest days of the pandemic. Luxury resorts across Sedona, once brimming with tourists from Europe and Asia, are slashing room rates and cutting premium services just to keep the lights on. Meanwhile, local tour operators and hospitality staff are facing widespread layoffs amid dwindling demand and canceled group packages. Tourism made up over 6% of Arizona's GDP in 2023, with international travelers playing a pivotal role in sustaining the sector. But with a sharp pullback in overseas visitors, that economic engine is sputtering. Small towns built on seasonal tourist dollars are being hit first, from Page to Tombstone, where souvenir shops and local eateries are now shuttering early or closing for good. The state has scrambled to launch emergency marketing campaigns targeting foreign travelers, but the global competition is fierce and unforgiving. Destinations in Mexico, Southern Europe, and Southeast Asia are offering more affordable alternatives with relaxed entry protocols. Unless Arizona can turn the tide soon, it risks watching its hard-won tourism brand dry up in the desert sun. Is Arizona drying up, literally and economically? Would you travel there today? Number 2. Wyoming. Wyoming's sweeping plains, rugged mountains, and cowboy charm have long enchanted European and Asian travelers in search of the quintessential American frontier experience. But in 2025, that postcard-perfect image is cracking. Yellowstone National Park visitor numbers are down nearly 30%, with international tour groups canceling their trips months in advance, citing both high costs and geopolitical unease. Local economies in gateway towns like Jackson Hole, Cody, and Thermopolis are reeling from the fallout. A recent Pew Research report highlights that many seasonal businesses are operating at just half their usual capacity, unable to justify full staffing without the influx of global guests. Revenue from lodging taxes, park entry fees, guided tours, and recreational permits has plunged, straining public services and forcing budget cuts. Wyoming's rural infrastructure depends heavily on the economic lifeline that tourism provides. Without it, even essentials like road maintenance, park ranger staffing, and small-town event programming are now on the chopping block. And with the U.S. image abroad suffering from policy whiplash and cultural tensions, global travelers are increasingly skipping over the cowboy state in favor of more welcoming destinations. Domestic travel within the U.S. remains relatively steady, but it's simply not enough to fill the void. International tourists typically stay longer, explore deeper, and spend significantly more per trip. Without their presence, Wyoming's tourism-driven communities are finding themselves in a slow-motion collapse that may take years to reverse. Is America's Wild West disappearing from tourist maps? Can Wyoming bounce back? Number 1. Alaska. Alaska, once a shining jewel of ecotourism and a beloved destination for cruise enthusiasts, is now facing one of the most dramatic downturns in its tourism history. In 2025, major cruise lines significantly reduced their Alaska itineraries, citing rising logistical costs, unpredictable weather patterns, and inconsistent tourist demand. According to Alaska Public Media, local tour operators have entered the peak summer season with a single word dominating their thoughts: uncertainty. Hotel bookings in iconic towns like Juneau, Sitka, and Ketchikan are down nearly 40% from pre-pandemic benchmarks, with some remote lodges reporting an even steeper drop. Small businesses, kayak rental shops, artisan cafes, fishing guides are slashing hours, laying off seasonal staff, and bracing for the worst. National parks, which once overflowed with eager visitors, are now operating on reduced schedules, with fewer rangers and limited educational programs. Cruise revenue, which previously served as an economic engine for much of Southeast Alaska, has plummeted. Cruise operators are rerouting ships to shorter, less expensive West Coast trips, bypassing Alaska entirely. As a result, The docks of Skagway and the boardwalks of Hoonah are eerily quiet, stripped of the bustling energy they once held. This collapse isn't just about fewer tourists, it's about an entire way of life hanging in the balance. Entire communities that depend on summer foot traffic now face declining property values, shuttered storefronts, and rising uncertainty about their long-term survival. Alaska's question now is not whether it will recover, but how and how fast. In this fragile moment, Alaska's distinctive tourism economy teeters on a precipice. Will it reinvent itself in time to meet new global travel patterns, or continue to fade into irrelevance on the tourism map? For countless families and small business owners across the state, the answer remains heartbreakingly unclear. Is Alaska the biggest victim of climate and tourism collapse? Did this one surprise you? What we're witnessing across the country isn't just a temporary tourism slump. It's the unraveling of one of America's most vital economic threads. From the skyscrapers of New York to the untouched glaciers of Alaska, the tourism engine that once connected people, fueled cities, and underpinned rural livelihoods is now faltering under the weight of global uncertainty and domestic disruption. It's a slow-motion collapse, but the consequences are immediate and deeply personal. States that once welcomed millions are now counting losses in the billions. Jobs have vanished, communities are shrinking, and the ripple effect is hitting everything from retail to real estate. The silence in once bustling towns is deafening, and the question on everyone's mind is when or if tourism will come back. If this video gave you a new perspective, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the global trends reshaping our world. Which state on this list shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. We always listen, and your voice matters. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep asking the questions others overlook.